What's up, guys? I got a trade idea I think you're gonna like if you are as confident as I am about the future of Bitcoin. All right, it's gonna be related to Bitcoin. It's actually kind of similar to an older video I'd posted about a trade idea. I think when gold's move is done, that money pivots into Bitcoin and kind of provides rocket fuel. So, and I don't really need a narrative to trade, but anyways, let's get right to it. All right, I'm re-recording this video because last time I was just rambling. I had a long weekend. I'm still recovering from that, so bear with me. It's not going to be my most exciting video, but all right, Bitcoin weekly chart. Okay, I've been messing around with two ways of charting recently. A green chart that contains the whole move, basically. So this contains all the Bitcoin price action dating back to, the top in December 2017. All right, and you can kind of see if you connect the top from 2017 to 2021, you extend it out a little bit, and what do you get? You get the 2025 top of around 109,000. Okay, no coincidences, right? You also can use the same angles and get the bottom support. Okay, so that's Bitcoin currently. But if I get a little bit more aggressive and reimagine these channels, watch what happens. Okay, this is the same Bitcoin BTCUSD. Okay, but what I've done now is gotten a little bit more aggressive in how I imagine these angles by connecting these bottoms right here. Okay, and I mean, there's no coincidences in this price action. Like, save this video, come back to it in a year, come back to it in 5 years. What you're gonna see, I bet you anything, is that the expansion, the acceleration of the price of Bitcoin, and really you could just call this, if you need a narrative to associate with the charts, it's gonna be inflation accelerating. What's new, right? Go study the stock market. go back to like the early 1900s. Look at the expansion lines. Then as you go decade to decade to decade, what do you notice? They get a little bit steeper, etc. So this is nothing new. I think this is going to be ultimately what carries Bitcoin to, $250,000, $500,000. It's going to be this channel right here. Okay. This channel makes it seem possible. If I go back to the green channel, look, you know what I mean? This green channel says, hey, Bitcoin's not going to get above $120,000 in 2025, right? Because it can't break out of that channel. But again, you reimagine just a little bit. And again, did I cheat when I drew this channel? No, I didn't. I just connected the bottoms. They're telling you right there. That's a hint. If you don't believe me, go chart. There's only one way to learn this stuff, right? I'm self-taught, if you're wondering. So, you could say I'm wrong, but I'm wrong when the price action invalidates it. But it's not that I'm wrong in drawing this channel. I mean, look at that. Look how perfectly it's symmetrical. So I'm right until I'm wrong, basically, is what I'm saying. Because the price action established that. All right, so Bitcoin's looking real attractive right here in this little corner. It's looking like it could explode up as high as, I would say at least maybe 150K in 2025, which I've heard other smart people have as a price target. Let's not get into narratives, but I could definitely see Bitcoin on this red chart maybe killing a little bit more time in that corner and then going back up, maybe spending a little bit of time around the previous high, and then boom. Where does that take us? Potentially December of 2025, finishing its move. We know that crypto likes to run in December. That actually, screenshot that. I bet you that I'm not opposed. I think that could make sense. I think it could also happen a little bit earlier. I wanted to mention, if I pull up gold real quick, gold's chart is absolutely insane. I have been doing the red lines and the green lines. So if you use the red lines on gold could go as high as like 5K an ounce. I don't know about in 2025, but never say never the way it's been looking lately. But I just wanted to show gold. If I pull it up on the green chart, I think we don't need to spend that much more time on gold. Look at just these two right here. Its price target, even if you use the Fibonacci retrace, something like this here to here, you get right up around 3,500 an ounce. I think that could be the end of the move. I've heard other people use 3,500 as a price target based on like the Chinese yuan. I don't know. Anyways, I don't need a narrative. I just look at the charts. I think 3,500 seems like a great pivot point. Could happen pretty soon, actually. So I want to show you also in terms of timing this, okay, Bitcoin divided by gold. Okay, there's two ways I want to show you this chart, but this is BTC divided by XAUUSD. If I draw it this way on my red chart, okay, it looks like it had to pivot today. I mean, look at that. It looked like it had to just by connecting the previous tops to the previous bottom, and that's what you get. Okay, so it made sense today, depending on when you watch this. This would have been in the past, but let me just show this on the green chart now, really quickly. I feel like I wouldn't waste your time with it if I didn't think it was worth showing because it's not an exact science. If you draw the lines just a little bit differently, okay, what you get is a little bit of a pocket there, a little bit more space for the Bitcoin to gold ratio to fall back to, that area as you would expect right around here. Okay. And that would put us in like June Okay. Now, in terms of June as a date to target, I want to show you something. Okay. I don't think any of this stuff is random. I'm going to pull up MicroStrategy now. This is the MicroStrategy chart that I drew in green. Just check this out. That's MicroStrategy since its inception. Literally, if you just connect like the 2000s to the 2024 top, you get like basically a massive price channel. I thought that was cool, but that's not the chart I want to show you. I want to show you it in red. So my bad for jumping around here. I'm trying to be quick. Okay, if I draw MicroStrategy out in red, okay, my red channel is meant to be my like more aggressive projection. A channel that maybe doesn't look as obvious yet. Okay, the green ones are supposed to be the obvious ones. The red's supposed to be the non-obvious. And I also drew the yellow ones, which are, I call them like decline lines. So I've got my expansion lines and my decline lines. I love the way that this chart looks. It feels like the yellow lines are validated in my mind. You know, we're a little bit early, obviously, in this projection, because if you wait till the last second, it's usually so obvious that everybody sees it, and they don't usually make making money that easy, that simple. All right. Obviously, I established it by connecting, you know, these previous two tops. I didn't involve the 2021 top. Okay. We're just focusing on this potential new price channel. Okay. And I'm calling it valid until it's invalidated. But remember how we talked about June? So this is weekly bars. Okay. Where's the paintbrush? So I think we could, I don't really worry about the intermediate price action. I'll be honest. Like that top yellow decline line is what I'm excited about. Whoops. This decline line up here, extending from the, you know, $542 whatever high, all-time high. Okay. I think what's going to ultimately happen is kind of like we just looked at the gold chart and we got maybe a June target of a gold has completed its move. I think that right now we could see MicroStrategy maybe drop back down and kind of kill some time and then maybe break out, but it's like a fake breakout because people don't see that, you know, yellow decline line, and then it kills even more time in this corner. Okay. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like, I think people will think when MicroStrategy jumps from, you know, basically where it's at today, 315, 320 up to 380, you know, I think that move is coming and everybody's going to pile into calls and think that, you know, that we're going to redo this whole move, but they never make it that easy. Okay. I mean, it's rare anyways. And then what you're going to end up getting is, nope, we're going to kill even more time till we get to June, right? The same window of time right there, June, July. All right. And hopefully well, I don't want to say hopefully, but I think they'll shake more people out of their position, make them second guess. The people that pile into, you know, options that don't have enough time on them, they're going to burn all that premium. And then we're going to get into this little corner. And this is my dream scenario right there. Get into that corner, but beneath the yellow line, because that to me is the best time that I could possibly imagine to be in calls on basically anything that's Bitcoin adjacent. But I mean, MicroStrategy, if I show you Bitcoin divided by MicroStrategy, or I mean, put the two on, not divided by, but put the two on the same chart. Anyways, I think this just skyrockets up at least to the previous high. Okay. But if Bitcoin does go up to 150K, then yeah, you're going to get like maybe a move like this. You know, you got the previous high right here. Maybe we go up, retrace a little bit, maybe even go back to this red channel right here. So what are we looking at now? September 2025. And then what did we say? December, that move could be complete. I don't even know when December is. That would put us like right around here. So maybe MicroStrategy as high as like 800, maybe $770, $800 in December of 2025. I'm leaving this video up because if and when it happens, I'm gonna be like, I told you guys so. It was right here in the chart. And it doesn't even seem far-fetched when you look at it through this lens. This is what it's all about. Like, before you jump into a trade or over trade, why don't you just simplify it, make sense of it, understand the correlations. I said I would show you really quickly BTCUSD. I guess I could have done it on that chart too. I'm just used to doing it this way. And then I'm going to add MicroStrategy. Now, I mean, I definitely have a little bit of Bitcoin, but when I'm talking about like being in my trading accounts and whatnot, I think MicroStrategy, just based on what you see here in the pink line, would be the more attractive instrument to capitalize on this play. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if there's anything else I should have looked at, correlations, etc. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I think we might be onto something.